Okay, it's Rico and welcome back to Brooklyn Cooking. Today it's Brooklyn Philly Cheesesteak Wars. You see I'm wearing this ridiculous shirt because I have nieces who live in the Philly area, a little maybe half hour north of Philadelphia, 45 minutes north. And we always had some friendly bets, not always, but on big games. Well, anyway, I lost this game in 2010. And they had the nerve to write giant suck on this. They beat us 38-3. Anyway, they always come for Christmas Eve, and my penalty was I had to wear this ridiculous shirt and wear it all during Christmas Eve. They were getting even for me. For 2009, we had a friendly bet. We never bet money between the Yankees and the Phillies in the 2009 World Series. And the loser had to go to the loser's ballpark, take pictures of themselves with the winner's gear, which was Yankee gear, because we won. So my niece Heather had to go to Philly Park, whatever their name is, in Yankee apparel, and take pictures of herself and post them on Facebook. So those are the type of wars we got. It's all friendly wars. So today we're going to have a Brooklyn Philly cheesesteak war. You'll see here I have a big lump of meat. This is a prime cut of ribeye steak. Ribeye steak, I think, is the steak to use for Philly cheesesteak. Some of my friends say I'm nuts to cut this up into cheesesteak, but such is life. If you want it good. I remember the first time my sister moved back to Philadelphia from Chicago. First time I went to Philadelphia with her, we went to Jim's Steakhouse on South Street, and I was impressed that they had this big, commercial slicer, like you see in the deli, gravity fed, and it was working on, nobody there, and this machine is just slicing them up. I'm not that fortunate, so I'm gonna cut a clunk off here. And the rest will become regular steaks, may become it's actually not a bad prime rib. Probably go a little bigger on that, but we'll cut this up into steaks, maybe some more Philly cheesesteaks. When you buy a whole piece of meat like this, that's packed, it's not trimmed at all. So you get a lot of extra fat that, if you were buying a steak or prime rib, this would all be taken care of by the butcher. But, the price is the price. I don't do this necessarily to save money, because I don't even know if I'm saving money. I was at Costco today, and a piece like this was $13.99 a pound, and the ones all cleaned up were $20 a pound. Well, $14 versus $20. This one I got last week, actually, I got a bargain. This is $12 a pound. So we're going to just clean up some of the fat before we start slicing it up. And then the rest we'll cut this whole piece off. We can cut at it. Now this is good fat. Actually, if you got some lean chopped meat, you chop that up with that, you got a good burger. Anyway, it's a lot easier to slice this if it's very cold. So I'm going to plop this in the freezer for a half hour or so, and then we'll come back and show you how I slice it. I had the meat in the freezer for about a half an hour to make it a little cold, to make it easier to slice. I got that ridiculous Philly shirt, Eagles shirt off, and I put on my Giants shirt because we beat them last week. There was no bet because we both stink. Anyway, we're going to start slicing some by hand. You want to make it nice and thin. I'm just doing it by hand to show you don't need a slicer. You can do this by hand. After we're finished slicing, I'll clean up some of the fat a little bit. And then we'll throw this on the slicer. First couple of slices will be we want them nice and thin. Perfect. See how nice and thin this is? Beautiful. Maybe we'll clean up a little fat. Not to bore you too much, we'll finish slicing off camera. And once we finish slicing and clean it up a little bit, we'll put our sandwich together. The meat's all sliced up, nice and thin. We cleaned up some of the fat. And, some of the fat's good. You don't want to take it all out. And we're ready to go. Okay, now we'll separate Brooklyn from Philly. And it starts with the bread. We have better bread. A nice, crusty Italian hero roll from around the corner. Philly makes good cheesesteaks, but one thing, their bread, to me, it's like a hot dog bun on steroids. It's just a big hot dog bun. It's too soft. But maybe that's what it should be. And the other thing is the cheese. I'm not a big Cheese Whiz fan. So when you go to Philly, you want one with whiz or whatever, but you could get it with American cheese. But if you get American cheese, get the good stuff. Don't get that stuff individually wrapped. And our sliced steak, we're starting off, well, we're not starting off. For this size roll, I feel 7 ounces is a good size. Always seasoned with a little salt and pepper. Get yourself a good spatula, and we start chopping up. We have some peppers and onions here. We throw a little on the grill. And the cheese, we like to load it up. We put some cheese to start on the thing, on the bread. That's good, we'll leave it here. And then we'll keep chopping. We're going to add more cheese on top. Incorporate some of the peppers in there and onions. And you pretty much got running out of red. Got to line it up as a sandwich. Don't worry, my hands are super clean. Then we get more cheese. And we'll just let it melt a little bit and we'll be basically done. Well, we'll be done. We're not basically done. That looks good. We'll try to get this all neatly. And voila, we're done. How bad could this be? It's taste test time, so Kathy, Heather, Megan, Brian, Alan, and maybe my sister Jean. We don't talk to her too much. This sandwich is for you. Now that's a tasty sandwich. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our station, and arrivederci from Brooklyn.